This live broadcast of Wayne Finger Lakes High School basketball is brought to you thanks to the support from Generations Bank, Little John Orthodontics, Bill Cram Chevrolet, Finger Lakes Partners Insurance, It's a Wonderful Run 5K, Finger Lakes Construction, Reds Place, Ferrara Lumber, Jimmer's Auto and Stever's Garage, Penny's Place Restaurant, the Seneca Falls Country Club, the Omen Theater, FingerLakes1.com, Digital Marketing, and Aflac Supplemental Insurance.
It's opening night in the Finger Lakes East, and what a matchup we have for you tonight as the Mynderse Blue Devils take on the Newark Reds in a matchup of the last two Section 5 Class B champions and a rematch of last year's championship game up at Blue Cross Arena. Hello, welcome to Wayne Finger Lakes basketball. I'm Brendan Harrington along with Tani Robinson, Jim Sinacropi, and Jeremy Hunt behind the scenes tonight. And Tani, what a great way to start off league play, a matchup between the defending champions in Class B Mynderse and a Newark team that, among other things, has gotten on SportsCenter this year, though they're looking for their first win.
Absolutely, Brendan. Like, what a way to start the Finger Lakes East season. A couple of really talented teams, rematch of last year's sectional finals. Great way to kick off the season. No cupcakes on this schedule.
Mynderse defeating Newark last year in a blowout in the sectional championship game, 50-30. A Mynderse team that's gotten off to a 2-0 start, though really hasn't been tested yet. Just rolled over Avon 28-2 out of the gates in their game on Monday. Meanwhile, this Newark team with a tough schedule, they've opened up 0-3, but that includes games against Canandaigua, Jamesville, DeWitt, and Webster Thomas. No cupcakes, speaking of.
No, some challenging games for Newark early on in the season, and a little bit of some coach shuffle up in the Finger Lakes East this year as several teams changing head coaches, including Mynderse.
Yep, and so we see two new head coaches for each of these squads. Of course, Kevin Korzaneski, no stranger to Finger Lakes 1, who served as an analyst over the last few years and a member of that 1992 state championship team. And then on the other side for the Newark Reds, a guy who's been coaching their JV team, Henry Caparis. And so he and Bob Havrilla, who had been the varsity coach for 8 years, they've flipped roles. So still no continuity when you're just flipping coaches like that, Tony.
Absolutely. You know, imagine we're going to see similar styles of play out of Newark we've seen in the past. But some change-ups in this Mynderse team as they've really changed the way that they're making things happen on the offensive end of the floor. High tempo, up and down pace this year for the Mynderse Devils.
And, of course, Pat Prain took over last year midway through the season. He's been kept on as an assistant coach, so you see also some continuity on that side as well. So a good matchup for you tonight between these two squads. We're looking forward to another great season of Wayne Finger Lakes basketball. Tani and I, first game we're working this year, and just exciting this time of year, especially when you get those league games going.
Absolutely. High school basketball, there's nothing like it. The excitement of showing up to a gym and crowds piling in on a Friday night. There's just a lot of energy and atmosphere. And certainly here at Newark, this is always a great place for high school basketball. Tough place for Mynderse to play as they've struggled here the last couple of years.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out, talking with some of the different personnel. We think it's been 6 seasons since Mynderse has come over here and gotten a victory. Of course, these two teams are often right at the top of the Finger Lakes East. Of course, Mynderse last year, the league champions and won sectionals as well. But if you go back 2 years before that, Newark was undefeated in Finger Lakes East play. And, of course, they won the sectional title, beating Palmac, another Finger Lakes East opponent, 2 years ago. So you know that the top echelon in the Finger Lakes East is always going to be competing for a sectional title. As we're going to step aside for the national anthem, and when we come back, we'll have your starting lineups and tip-off as we see the Newark Reds get ready to battle the Mynderse Blue Devils in the Finger Lakes East opener for both teams.
Federal loans not enough to cover the cost of your college education? The private student loan available through Generations Bank can be the answer to your funding needs. Learn more online at mygenbank.com or call 315-568-5855. Generations Bank, with locations in Auburn, Farmington, Geneva, Phelps, Seneca Falls, Union Springs, and Waterloo. Be sure to check out their mobile banking app or visit them online at mygenbank.com. Dr. Littlejohn and his outstanding orthodontic team share a common goal: to ensure the overall wellness of each patient through their orthodontic care. They utilize the latest technological advances in the orthodontic industry, including digital scanning and Invisalign. Dr. Rod Littlejohn is proud to support our area high school athletes. Check out their website at littlejohnortho.com. Bill Cram Chevrolet on Route 5 and 20 between Seneca Falls and Waterloo, where your car buying is fast, fun, and easy. Mention you saw them on fingerlakes1.com and receive a $250 credit to use towards the purchase of any new or used vehicle. Browse their inventory at billcramchevrolet.com or stop in and see why you'll save plenty on 5 and 20 with Bill Cram Chevrolet.
I believe that was Enrico Palazzo with the national anthem before tonight's game as we get ready for basketball between the Newark Reds and the Mynderse Blue Devils, as this is the Finger Lakes East season opener for both teams. Let's go ahead and get you the starting lineups for tonight's game. First of all, for the Mynderse Blue Devils, who come in with a record of 2-0 with victories to start the season against Marcus Whitman in the Waterloo tournament last weekend, 71-44. They also blew out Avon 68-38 on Monday night. In the backcourt, it'll be Quentin Battle, a 5'11 senior guard who's averaging at 11.5 points per game, along with Kellen Caraher, 5'9", 155-pound senior guard, leads the team with 4.5 assists per game to go with 6.5 points per game. Devin Anderson will start as a third guard, 5'10 senior, who's averaging 8 points per game, has 6 steals. And then up front, Jake Robinson, who leads the team over the first 2 games with a 13-point-per-game clip. And Hunter Haas, the 6'1", 178-pound senior, who averages 8 points and 7.5 rebounds per game. Just missed a double-double against Avon with 9 points and 10 rebounds. And, of course, as we said before, Kevin Kormaneski is the head coach for the Blue Devils in his first season. So, again, the starting lineup is Battle, Caraher, Anderson, Robinson, and Haas. For the Newark Reds, who are 0-3, but 3 difficult matchups to start off the season. At Canandaigua against Jamesville Duet in Waterloo, and then home against Webster Thomas. Their starting lineup looks like this. Logan Moynihan will start in the backcourt. He's a 6'2 senior at 8 points against Webster Thomas. Also the backcourt, Jaden Peters, 6'2 junior guard who had 12 points at Canandaigua. Then on the front line, DeAndre Saunders, a 6'2 senior forward who had 10 points against Jamesville Duet. Terry Anglin gets the start. He's a 6'1 senior forward. And Taylor Clements, 6'7", 203-pound senior, averaging 14 points per game in the first 3 to lead the way for the Reds. The head coach, as we said before, Henry Caparis. And your officials, Ron Plummer and Mike Schoenecker. Newark will be in the white. Mynderse in the road navy blue. Those Mynderse road jerseys, I was telling Corsi this, they are sharp. Very classy looking. I love the font. Mynderse Academy on the front. We'll tip it up, and we are underway. Newark will control the tip and turn it over right off the bat. Quentin Battle rejected. That'll go out of bounds into the cheerleaders. DeAndre Saunders returns to sender. And
DeAndre Saunders, he's a high riser. He can get off the ground, and we saw it evidenced right there.
Talking with Corsi before the game. Mynderse really wants to try and keep the tempo of this game up, push the ball, and on the defensive end, limit the touches for Taylor Clements. Clements, the biggest man on the floor at 6'7". Shot clock down to 15.
Newark opening with some of their traditional tough man-to-man defense.
Hunter Haas, the lefty, little floater, left it short, and then they'll send it to Newark for the first time.
And we're going to see this Mynderse team open up with the press right away, looking to set the tempo.
A team that played a lot of zone over the last few years under Nick Ciotti, and that time the press easily dispensed with as Terry Anglin takes it in for the easy bucket.
Anglin almost lost the handle, able to recover.
So Newark draws first blood, and a lot of contact on the drive from Quentin Battle. And Newark will bring it back, looking to add to a 2-0 lead. Mynderse will go man-to-man. This is Logan Moynihan running the point. And there's the touch from Clements on the high post. Jaden Peters, the tight man-to-man defense on the perimeter from Caraher that time. Anglin lost his dribble down the 5 of the shot clock and just ripped away by Quentin Battle. Battle fakes the dish, then delivers, and an easy bucket. Jake Robinson.
It's Battle's second steal of the game already.
He's very active in the early going, Tony. Long pass leads to a 2-on-1, but Clements bobbled it, and he does draw the foul. Now, it would have been an easy layup, if not a dunk, had he been able to come up with it cleanly, but he still managed to bail out and at least get a chance at the free throw line.
Yeah, real nice pass by Saunders, too, turning and finding Clements, and Clements just bobbled that ball.
And it looks like they will get Jake Robinson with the foul. So first foul called on either team. And 1 out of 2 at the line for Taylor Clements. And so Newark with a 3-2 lead. So Clements, a big guy, obviously going to have a size advantage a lot in this league. A key for him, Tony, is going to be hitting those free throws.
Yeah, hitting free throws and staying out of foul trouble is always what Clements needs to do in order to keep the Reds in the game.
Off the back iron, Devin Anderson, and Newark clears the boards. Good crowd on hand on this Friday night in Wayne County. The last 2 champions in the Class B bracket in Section 5. No hesitation on the trigger there from DeAndre Saunders, but he left it short. Mynderse now 3-on-3 into the front court. Oh, they left Host all alone and an easy bucket. Good find.
Nice ball fake by Host, too, to get the big man Clements off the ground.
And again, back to the full court pressure for Mynderse. Moynihan will work with Anglin to get it across the timeline. Mynderse really extending the defense on the perimeter, Tony, putting some pressure on the ball and even that first pass to the wing. And a travel trying to work his way through the double team. Good help defense there from Mynderse as Anglin turns it over.
Well, it's proven to be effective as Mynderse has really been pressuring the ball with their man-to-man defense, and Newark has struggled out on the perimeter with their 3rd turnover of the game so far.
Mynderse with a 4-3 lead. Battle working the ball. Then Host, the lefty, they're going to lob it into the paint, and good footwork inside from Jake Robinson.
No relation.
No relation at all. No, his footwork's too good. Just kidding, man. You had a great drop step.
That's all I got.
So Robinson will go to the free throw line. It was actually his first trip to the line this year, and it looked like it. That wasn't just short. That was way short.
And the crowd's going to let him hear about it a little bit.
We'll see if Robinson can recalibrate. And, of course, he goes too strong this time. And a loose ball foul on Mynderse. That might be Robinson again, and if it is, it's going to be his second.
Yep, and they're going to give him a breather.
Yeah, it's the second already, so that's a big development early on. Now this Mynderse team has some depth, so they're going to go to the bench right away. And again, full court pressure. Darren Miller has checked into the game. He's a junior with a lot of potential, biggest player on the team. And wide open 3 after they beat the pressure. That's Logan Moynihan.
Nice job by Saunders finding Moynihan in transition for the three-pointer.
So Newark back on top 6-4. 4.5 minutes to play in this opening quarter. They're going to work it inside to Host against the double team. Keeps his pivot foot and just had it rattle out. Went up with the right hand that time, so showing he can work with both hands on the interior. Hunter Host. Moynihan. Oh, he's going to pull up and off the back rim too strong. Karaher hasn't had a lot of touches. He'll bring it into the front court. Kind of explores the baseline. Seeing both teams going exclusively man, and that three looked good, but rolled out for Quentin Battle. Both teams kind of feeling each other out early on, Tony.
Yep, we see Mynder's pressure man-to-man defense has created some turnovers, but yet to see the Blue Devils really get out in transition.
Clements, 18-footer, didn't look particularly comfortable, a little bit outside his range. Mynderse basketball, down 2. Battle to the basket. A lot of ball from Anglin, but also a lot of body tangled up there, so it's going to be a trip to the free throw line for Quentin Battle. Battle scoring an average of 11.5 points over the first 2 games. 1 of 2 from the free throw line. And a couple substitutions now for Newark. We're going to see Mason Vandemortel come into the game along with Marcel Green D'Souza. D'Souza wearing number 24 and Vandemortel number 12. And Battle hits both free throws. We're tied at 6 with 3:15 left to go in the first quarter.
Mynderse dropping back to half-court man-to-man on that possession.
Yeah, first time they didn't press. And good backside help from Darren Miller. Mynderse will push it. Battle thought about pulling the trigger. Now he will, left it short. Well, the lefty trying to pull up, dribbling to the right. Couldn't get it done, and so it'll go back to Newark with 2:52 left to go in the first quarter.
Mynderse has been looking to push the ball on just about every possession, but a good job by the Newark Reds getting back in transition defense so far.
And we told you Newark has lost 3 games. They have struggled to score. Again, 3 very difficult opponents, but they're averaging just 40 points per game in their first 3. And a low-scoring game thus far here. And that 3 ball off the mark from Saunders. Karaher across the timeline, being hounded by D'Souza all the way to the basket but couldn't finish. Now D'Souza back the other way. I better watch out. Haas tried to strip it from behind, and now another turnover. Up and down we go, but neither team converting right now. Almost thrown away, and that's a wide open look for Haas. Can't get it. Well, team's getting some good shots from the perimeter right now, but nothing going down. Under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter.
No, we might be seeing some first league game jitters tonight as both teams struggling a little bit with execution.
You don't get much more open than Hunter Haas. I mean, that entire half of the floor did not have a defender on it. Sometimes it can almost be too open. On the 12 of the shot clock, this is Saunders again. Again, good help defense from Mynderse as Battle stepped right in there. Down to 5 of the shot clock. I'm going to struggle just to get a shot off here. Oh, he got it inside to Clements.
When in doubt, toss it into the big man.
Yeah, right? It's not a bad strategy. Good catch by Clements, too. Kind of an awkward angle on that entry pass. Haas fakes the deep shot. Leaves it back for Miller. Too strong, but Haas with the offensive board. Tried to kick it out. D'Souza almost made a great save in front of the cheerleaders, and we'll have some more subs here.
Great defensive tip by D'Souza, and then a good hustle to almost knock it back into play.
Adrian Elliott is in for Newark. And we're going to see Jesse Cabot check in for the first time for Mynderse. Good three-point shooter. 1 minute left to go in the first quarter. 8-6 Newark. Here's Cabot. Trying to work off the ball screen. Boy, Miller getting good position down low. They finally get it to him. He gets bodied out of the block, gets it back, and finally draws the foul.
Yep. Miller recognized immediately that he had a nice mismatch with the smaller D'Souza guarding him, and is able to draw the foul from Clements coming over to help.
I like that, a little two-man game. They cleared out that side of the floor for Jesse Cabot. Had Miller come out and set a ball screen. You got the option of the three-point shooter there, Cabot. If you go under the screen, he has an opening. If not, you can seal and post up on the pick and roll, and that's what they did that time, getting the ball inside. First free throw, though, no good for Miller. Missed them both. So Mynderse 0 for 4 from the free throw line, because remember Robinson had that horrid trip. And there's Clements with a wide open look and a
showing his
touch
range.
for the big man, right?
The big tree.
And Clements with 6 to lead all scores. And it's a 5-point lead for Newark. There is, game clock is they're almost identical, so pretty much can hold for the last shot here if you're Kevin Korzaneski and Mynderse. See how they play with 15 left to play here this first quarter. Cabot, again, pick and roll, this time with Haas on the ball screen, and he lays it up and in for 2, so they don't hold. And then the steal.
Quick steal.
And wow, a foul with 5.9 seconds left to go, and to the free throw line goes Cabot. So could be a disastrous end to the first quarter for Newark. At a 5-point lead, and now Newark with a chance to get it within 1. We look at the replay. Just a lazy inbound pass, and Cabot with the steal and almost got the layup and would have had a chance for the 3-point play. Finally, Mynderse converts at the free throw line. Just to correct myself, I said 0 for 4 before. I missed Quentin Battle up at the top of my score sheet. He actually hit 2 free throws before, so they were 2 for 6, now 3 for 7. Cabot to make it a 1-point game.
He rattles it home.
Yep. Spells it K-A-B-A-T, pronounced like the explorer, John Cabot, C-A-B-O-T. There's the long 3 off the backboard, and that'll do it. A 1-point game at the end of the first quarter. With your score, Newark 11 and Mynderse 10. We'll be back with Wayne Finger Lakes basketball here on Finger Lakes One.
Federal loans not enough to cover the cost of your college education? The private student loan available through Generations Bank can be the answer to your funding needs. Learn more online at mygenbank.com or call 315-568-5855. Generations Bank, with locations in Auburn, Farmington, Geneva, Phelps, Seneca Falls, Union Springs, and Waterloo. Be sure to check out their mobile banking app or visit them online at mygenbank.com. Dr. Littlejohn and his outstanding orthodontic team share a common goal: to ensure the overall wellness of each patient through their orthodontic care. They utilize the latest technological advances in the orthodontic industry, including digital scanning and Invisalign. Dr. Rod Littlejohn is proud to support our area high school athletes. Check out their website at littlejohnortho.com. Bill Cram Chevrolet on Route 5 and 20 between Seneca Falls and Waterloo, where your car buying is fast, fun, and easy. Mention you saw them on fingerlakes1.com and receive a $250 credit to use towards the purchase of any new or used vehicle. Browse their inventory at BillCramChevrolet.com or stop in and see why you'll save plenty on 5 and 20 with Bill Cram Chevrolet.
Now we're back to start the second quarter here in Newark, as it's been a busy weekend for Kevin Korzaneski. His team trails by 1 as we start the second quarter. He's been a big part of the organizing process of the It's a Wonderful Life 5K run, or It's a Wonderful Run as they call it, and a bucket here for Mynderse puts him back on top.
Yeah, what a terrific event that's become for the community. Just gets bigger and bigger every year.
As that was Karaher with his first bucket, and Mynderse back on top for the first time since it was 4-2. Now the other end again, that's the second time that backside on the lob, Darren Miller has come in. That time took it away from Adian Elliott. And it will still be Newark basketball. So there's still time to sign up for the 9th annual It's a Wonderful Run 5K in Seneca Falls, taking place 1 week from today in Seneca Falls. It's a Wonderful Run 5K.com. It's a winter run like no other.
Nice rebound by Clements after the missed three-pointer. He's able to put the putback in.
And on the other end, contested three-pointer, but offensive rebound for Mynderse. And the 3-ball from Cabot. So scoring pace starting to pick up a little bit. Meanwhile, Clements, by the way, has 8. And the 5K tomorrow, of course. I was looking at the old reader there. 5K will be taking place tomorrow. That was from last Saturday, the Waterloo tournament. And they're expecting a huge crowd for that. 15-13 lead for Mynderse. Shot clock down to 10. D'Souza caught in trouble, lost the handle, and a turnover. You kind of feel the momentum with Mynderse a little bit right here, Tony.
Yep. D'Souza, the second turnover of the game. And this Mynderse team doing a steady job of pressuring the basketball and then pushing the tempo in the other direction.
Remember, Jake Robinson picked up an early 2 fouls for Mynderse, but Darren Miller's done a nice job off the bench. Another 3-ball. Devin Anderson from downtown. So threes from Cabot and Anderson on back-to-back possessions. And Newark has gone from up 5 to down 5. It's a 12-2 run, and now a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play on the other end.
Clements with the big answer. Nice, strong drive to the basket. Tough finish with the left. He draws the foul.
That's going to be on Miller, who tried his best to deny Clements inside. Take a look at that last play, driving from the free throw line. That's a tough finish for Clements.
It was a difficult angle. I thought he was going to have a hard time making it go down, but Clements has always had nice, soft hands and good touch around the rim for such a big man.
So already into double figures as Clements came in averaging 14 points over his first 3 games, and this is the biggest size advantage he's had thus far, Tony, playing those 3 big schools to start off the schedule. And Clements is going to get a well-deserved break here. We'll see how Newark looks without their senior big man on the floor for the first time. That was a big 3-point play as Mynderse had opened up a 5-point lead on a 12-2 run, and now all of a sudden it's back to a 1-possession game.
We're seeing Newark make a little bit of a defensive adjustment, pushing out a little bit more on those perimeter guards.
Haas against Saunders.
Boy, Haas has been tough inside today. Great job of just some subtle head fakes and ball fakes.
And a foul here is going to put Newark back to the free throw line. He's a good job of keeping that pivot foot, even if he takes a blow to the torso. You know, sometimes you get pushed around in the post, you lose that pivot foot, and they call you for the travel. They're going to say that was on the floor, which is a big break for Mynderse. That was in the process of shooting. Inbounds pass is stolen. Boy, Cabot has been right in there wreaking havoc on the defensive end as well. Also hit a big 3. Battle sees an opening, but difficult finish with the left hand. He wanted a foul.
Yeah, Battle just a little bit out of control there.
And a travel going into that three-pointer from Jaden Peters.
If they're going to get the right call there, as Peters was setting up for the three-pointer, slid that pivot foot.
Remember, Mynderse was down 11-6 on what looked like was going to be the last possession of the first quarter. Since that point, 14-5 advantage, and the scoring pace has really picked up. 3-ball from the corner, a little bit off the mark. That was Kellen Caraher. Another 3 from the corner, and Saunders missed way off. Nobody rotates back. Haas able to use the shoulder to hold off the defender, Terry Anglin. Haas has been huge here in the second quarter. He's got 8. And I think we got a timeout here called by Newark. We do.
And Newark's going to talk it over, but yeah, Hunter Haas doing yeoman's work inside.
So again, just to clarify, the It's a Wonderful Run 5K is tomorrow, and 4,900 the number that Jim gave to me before in terms of the number of people registered right now. There's 9,000 people that live in Seneca Falls, so could have a race crowd of half the town's population. Boy, that whole event has really taken off. The Christmas time festival, modeled after, of course, Seneca Falls, Bedford Falls in the famous movie It's a Wonderful Life, modeled after Seneca Falls. And it's been Mynderse able to get things going on the perimeter here in the second quarter, Tony, with a couple big three-pointers. We see him back-to-back right there. The first one was from Cabot, and then Anderson.
Well, working that inside-outside game. A couple of three-pointers, and then Hunter Haas doing work inside.
And again, they continue to do a good job defensively of forcing some turnovers and using that to get some transition points or setting them up for points at the free throw line. So a 6-point lead for Mynderse on the road, looking for the win against Newark. Mynderse 2-0, Newark 0-3. And Boy, could have been a bump there, but a big break as that's Angler who comes down, or Anglin who comes away with the rebound and lays it in. He now has 4 points. 4-point lead for Mynders. Battle and Caraher on the perimeter, and good ball movement as Haas just kicked it back to Robinson at the free throw line. So Jake Robinson back in with those 2 early fouls. As Newark tries to see if they can get it back to 1 possession. That off the mark. Couple long misses from Peters on the perimeter. Cabot.
Oh, nice back cut.
Yep, Robinson leaving it on a nice back cut to Caraher, and he's going to head to the free throw line. I like the spacing in the movement without the basketball on the offensive end of the half court from this Mynders team.
This Mynders team is quick, and defensively they're pesky and all over the place, but yeah, the guards have been doing a nice job of cutting and moving on the offensive end.
So Caraher to the free throw line. Mynders now starting to convert at the free throw line. 5 of 9 as a team. Robinson going to come back off. And the second shot no good. Caraher 1 of 2 from the line. He has 3 points. The lead is 5 for the Mynderse Blue Devils. Saunders for Peters. He'll try and work off the screen. Moynihan, and we're going to get a foul on the floor here. Each team not yet in the bonus with 3:11 left to play in the first half. That'll be the 5th team foul against Mynders. So each team has 1 foul to give before we get into the bonus situation. Newark down 5. Reds led by 5 late in the first quarter, now trailing by 5. We got the new shot clock after the foul, but they get caught in the trap.
And Peters turned it over a couple times already when he's drawn that double coverage, started hitting the panic button a little bit.
Yeah, Peters has struggled on the offensive end for Newark, and he's going to come out of the game, and Marcel Green D'Souza will check back in. Off the jump ball, it'll stay with Newark, and they're lucky to hang on to the ball here this possession. 17 on the shot clock. They get it into the backcourt to Moynihan. And no pass is easy right now, and that takes its toll on a team offensively. That's going to be an over the back. Great box out. And again, it was Haas.
And they're going to get Saunders on that.
Haas had great inside position. Saunders came over the top. That'll be the 2nd foul on DeAndre Saunders, 16 foul. 2:42 to play in this first half.
Mynders going to take a timeout, talk about their next offensive possession.
So 23-18, Mynders with the lead. We'll keep it right here. This live presentation of Wayne Finger Lakes High School basketball is made possible through the support of Generations Bank. Are you ready for a new financial partner? Did you know that Generations is a full-service financial partner? Generations Bank was founded in 1870 and serves Cayuga, Seneca, and Ontario counties. Generations Agency is an independent insurance agency representing over 40 carriers. And Generations Investment Services offers 35 years of financial planning experience. From our MyGen mobile app to MyGen Mortgage with no down payment or PMI, for our qualified buyers to all your insurance and investment needs, check out the Generations way of planning for your future. So 23-18 lead for Mynders. They have the basketball. Hunter Haas leading the way for the Blue Devils offensively with 8 points, and he's done a great job on the defensive end and rebounding as well. Fighting for position inside right now against Elliott. Love it. They'll repost it. Wide open look off the kick. Great movement again by Mynders. Keegan Baker off the bench, and now a steal. Anderson comes up with it. Battle, and he's fouled.
And Mynders doing a nice job of working that inside-out game. Getting the ball inside the house. He draws Clements into the double team, and they immediately kick it back out to the top of the key for the open 3.
So it didn't take Keegan Baker long to make an impact. Another strength of this Mynderse team. They can go 8 or 9 deep and not really lose a whole lot. And a contribution there from Baker. And now Battle goes to the free throw line. I just love the fact that they got the ball once inside to Haas. They reposted him, sucks in the defense, and just a wide open look. We've seen a couple wide open three-point looks for this Mynderse team, really clicking in the half court offensively. Another offensive rebound. Haas again. Caraher back to Haas. Had it stripped. Key point in the ball game for Newark, Tony. Need to keep it close here coming down the stretch. Left the three-pointer short. We're going to foul on the floor. And I believe it's going to be a loose ball foul against Mynderse.
A good look by D'Souza in the corner. Just this Newark team struggling a little bit from the outside. Has gotten some open looks, but has not yet gotten all that many three balls to go down in this second quarter.
Jesse Cabot checks back in for Mynderse, and Haas going to check out. He's been terrific. Cabot has really contributed off the bench as well.
Yeah, Haas picks up that second foul, but man, has he been really the offensive cog that's been moving things along for the Mynderse team.
So one small concern there for Mynderse is their two starting forwards, Haas and Robinson, each with 2 fouls here the first half. 1:40 to play. Quick release and a good-looking stroke from Mason Vandemortel, the 6'2 junior guard, and that was a big three for Newark. His first points. And it will go out of bounds and stay with Mynderse with 1:27 to play.
The first field goal for Newark in close to 3 minutes as the defense from Mynderse has been really strong early on in the second.
They had the lead up to 9. The 3 has cut it to 6 from Vandemortel. Here's Cabot. Swings it all the way across. That's a great-looking pass, quick release, and the three-pointer from Devin Anderson. Again, I continue to be impressed with Mynderse in the half court, just looking really crisp.
When the three-point shooting has been really strong in this second quarter.
Of course, everything looks a little crisper when the shots go in, right? But I think a lot of that has to do with good, sharp passes and spacing that make those shots a lot more likely to go in. Down to 55 seconds left to play, 10 on the shot clock. We're in the second quarter. A 9-point lead matches the biggest lead. Oh, that could have been a travel. Now they'll get it. Now, I know teams don't get an opportunity in high school, especially early in the season, necessarily to perfect getting a 2-for-1. But this is a situation here, if you're Mynderse, if you can get a 2-for-1 with 48.8 left, you really optimize your situation.
Absolutely. And you see some of the Newark players starting to have their hands down on their knees a little bit. Certainly they're having to work hard to keep up with this high-paced Mynderse team.
Now you're probably past the point of being able to get the 2-for-1 as you're down to 35 seconds of the shot clock. Anderson left it short, but another offensive rebound. Now we're seeing Mynderse take over the offensive glass as well. Miller looked like he was going to challenge Elliott, but they can hold for the last shot, and I think it just took a minute for the players to get the attention. Their head coach able to get the attention of his players. Down to 9 seconds left to play. Caraher leaves back for Anderson and a foul. And that'll be the 8th team foul. So 1-and-1 will be coming up as 5 seconds exactly remaining on the clock. So a chance for Devin Anderson to push it to double digits here right before the half. Now, I'm not just saying this, Tony, because Corsi is my former broadcast partner. And this is a compliment not just to Corsi, but I know that Pat Prain plays a big role as the assistant, and he was the head coach at the end of last year. This is a really well-coached Mynderse team.
They're doing some fun things offensively. They're up-tempo. It's a fun team to watch. A lot of space, shooting the ball well. Absolutely, Brendan. I agree completely.
31-21 as they get it to double figures. Look very comfortable in this style, too. Usually kids like to play the up-tempo style. 2 free throws. Newark going to see if they can get a desperation heave off. Pretty good look, and halfway down and out from Elliott. And that'll do it. Remember, it was 11-6 with less than 30 seconds left to play in the first quarter. But since then, a 26-10 run from the Mynderse Blue Devils, and they own an 11-point advantage here at the half from Newark High School. We're going to take a timeout, and we will be back with your Bill Cram Chevrolet halftime show here on Finger Lakes 1.
FingerLakes1.com's live coverage of Wayne Finger Lakes High School basketball is brought to you thanks to the support from Finger Lakes Partners. Insurance for your life, home, auto, and future. Trust someone who lives in your community. With offices in Geneva, Waterloo, and Victor, visit Finger Lakes Partners online at fingerlakesinsurance.com. Ferrara Lumber and Building Supplies. Ferrara Lumber has been a fixture in the Seneca Falls area for almost 60 years. Start planning your next home improvement project at ferraralumber.com. Ferrara Lumber, supporting local high school athletes since 1959. Finger Lakes Construction Company is the #1 post-frame builder in New York State, providing complete building packages for a wide range of construction, including personal garages, commercial office complexes, municipal, equestrian, agricultural, dairy facilities, pole barns, and more. Visit them online at fingerlakesconstruction.com. The It's a Wonderful Run 5K Committee. It's a winter run like no other. Check out race videos, sign up for the next race, and learn how to get involved in the most popular holiday run around at itsawonderfulrun5k.com. Red's Place, serving great lunches daily in downtown Seneca Falls. Awesome daily specials, soup, and the best sandwiches in town. Check out their Facebook page for daily specials and their full menu. Next time you head out to see a movie, make it at the Omen Theater in downtown Lyons. You'll love relaxing in the modern, renovated theater that has the old-fashioned charm and character of the original house, first opened in 1915. See what's playing this week at omentheater.com. Penny's Place Family Restaurant, located on 5 and 20 in the Liberty Plaza between Seneca Falls and Waterloo. Well known for their large portions and home-cooked meals, a large selection of breakfast items, and everything from burgers, salad bar, and wraps for lunch. If you want a great meal while pinching a penny, come to Penny's Place. Jimmer's Auto offers a full inventory of late model cars, trucks, and minivans. Check out their full inventory online at jimmersauto.com. And for service, visit Stever's Garage on Fall Street in Seneca Falls. Jimmer's Auto and Stever's Garage, strong supporters of local high school athletes for over 40 years. Fed up with unresponsive web designers and getting nickeled and dimed for every small website update? Call FingerLakes1.com at 315-712-0104 and take control of your web presence. Since 1998, FingerLakes1.com has created and maintained nearly 1,000 websites for local businesses and organizations of all sizes. Aflac. When health changes for you or a loved one, it can change everything. But Aflac can help make sure the life you live is the life you never stop living. Learn more at aflac.com or contact Joe Calarco at 315-253-0495. And by Generations Bank, Little John Orthodontics, and Bill Cram Chevrolet.
That is halftime here at Newark High School. Mynderse Blue Devils trying to remain undefeated on the young season and win their league opener against the Newark Reds. They have an 11-point lead here at the half on our Bill Cram Chevrolet halftime show. And Tony, looking back at that first half, the turning point, you would have to say, is that final possession of the first quarter for Mynderse. Newark had just opened up a 5-point lead and looked like they're going to hold for the last shot, but not only they got fouled, they not only got the bucket, but they got a steal.
Quick steal and went to the line.
Yeah, that seemed to be the turning point, pulled it back within one, and then the three-point shooting started in the second quarter.
Well, and that really started to open things up for this Mynderse Blue Devils team. Newark with a great job defensively in the first quarter, able to keep Mynderse scoring under wraps, and we just saw this Mynderse team show what they're capable of doing offensively, which is knocking down the long three ball, working the ball inside out, making good passes, continuing to pressure this Newark team defensively. And I think, Brendan, we saw a little bit of this Newark Reds team wearing down a little bit as that quarter rode on. You know, Newark not quite as deep a team, not able to rotate as many players in, and Mynderse constantly shuffling in those speedy guards on the outside that are pushing the tempo.
And guys are in real good cardio shape on this Mynderse team, and they can keep that kind of tempo. And I mean, to be a good defensive team, it takes a lot of effort on the defensive end, and not only is the team pressed, but I think the most effective aspect has been the man-to-man defense in the half court. Their help defense has been terrific, and they've pressured every pass, even the simple pass from the point to the wing, and that wears a team down. It's not fun to play against a team that's going to challenge you on every pass.
Yeah, both teams played man-to-man defense throughout the entire first half, and we saw that Newark team able to kind of stifle the Mynderse defense. But as they started slowing down a little bit in the second quarter, they're giving their offense, or they're giving the Mynderse guards a little bit more space, and they're able to get those open threes, and we're knocking it down at a good rate.
Hunter Haas and Devin Anderson, the leading scorers for Mynderse in the first half, each with 8, but a real balanced team effort from the Blue Devils. They played 8 different guys in the first half. 7 of them scored, and the one guy who didn't contributed on both ends, rebounding defensively, and Darren Miller. So just a real impressive team effort for Mynderse in the first half. On the other side, Taylor Clements representing more than half of the offense for Newark with 11 of the 21 points. And I mentioned during the course of the half, scoring the basketball has been a challenge thus far this season for Newark, averaging just 40 points per game coming in.
And good things have happened every time they've gotten the ball in Taylor Clements' hands.
Yep.
And so you got to imagine on the offensive end of the floor that's really going to be one of the priorities for this Newark team, is to try and work the ball inside, take advantage of Taylor's height advantage over the smaller Mynderse front court.
Well, around the area tonight, it's a busy night as most leagues are getting into the league play portion of their schedule. You know, have some of these tournaments at the beginning of the year, but in the Finger Lakes East, Pal Mac matching up with Penn Yan tonight. Waterloo is taking on Mid Lakes, Geneva, and Wayne. We were talking a little bit before, Tony, a Wayne team that has some potential, but they're a little bit shorthanded right now.
Wayne dealing with some injury problems early on in this season, but of course the defending champions from last year from their sectional class, and they bring back almost every single player, and it's going to be a challenging league season this year for these teams at the top. You know, there are between Mynderse, Wayne, Mid Lakes, there's some really strong returning teams this year.
Finger Lakes West, of course, Marcus Whitman you see on the schedule. They're hosting Dundee. They've already played Mynderse once this year, a convincing win for Mynderse. Marcus Whitman was the FL West champions last year. I teach over at Red Jacket. They have been snake bit in the early season. They've lost 2 one-point games. They missed a free throw with less than a second left in one game, and then they gave up a bucket at the hoop against a hoop at the buzzer against South Seneca. So it's been a tough start to their season.
Some new coaching faces over at Red Jacket this year is the former Canandaigua, a longtime Canandaigua coach, Mike Broderick, makes the shift over to the Red Jacket team, and so an experienced coach, and so you know that he's going to have that team performing at a high level eventually. Yeah, the new system there, so it may take him a little bit of time to gel. So that's great to see the games in full swing. And right here, again, the score at the half, Mynderse 32 and Newark 21. And we're going to go ahead and take a timeout. And we'll be back with your second half action as the Blue Devils with 11-point lead trying to remain undefeated here on Finger Lakes 1.
Federal loans not enough to cover the cost of your college education? The private student loan available through Generations Bank can be the answer to your funding needs. Learn more online at mygenbank.com or call 315-568-5855. Generations Bank, with locations in Auburn, Farmington, Geneva, Phelps, Seneca Falls, Union Springs, and Waterloo. Be sure to check out their mobile banking app or visit them online at mygenbank.com. Dr. Littlejohn and his outstanding orthodontic team share a common goal: to ensure the overall wellness of each patient through their orthodontic care. They utilize the latest technological advances in the orthodontic industry, including digital scanning and Invisalign. Dr. Rod Littlejohn is proud to support our area high school athletes. Check out their website at littlejohnortho.com. Bill Cram Chevrolet on Route 5 and 20 between Seneca Falls and Waterloo, where your car buying is fast, fun, and easy. Mention you saw them on fingerlakes1.com and receive a $250 credit to use towards the purchase of any new or used vehicle. Browse their inventory at billcramchevrolet.com or stop in and see why you'll save plenty on 5 and 20 with Bill Cram Chevrolet.
Back at Newark High School as we get ready to start the second half. Mynderse Blue Devils with an 11-point lead, 32-21. Ending the second half on a 26-10 run that went back to the very end of the first quarter. It was 11-10 Newark at the end of one. So if you look at just the second quarter, 22-10. We saw Mynderse outscore Newark, and Mynderse going to get the basketball right off the bat here to try and add to that lead. Well, Tony, if you're Newark, you can't get it all back in one possession. Going to have to try and grind their way back into this game.
Absolutely. You're going to have to try and slow things down defensively for this Mynderse Blue Devils team, and got to find a way to score points.
So Mynderse basketball. This time attacking the basket to our left. They're actually going to start Darren Miller out there to begin the second half. And Jake Robinson will stay on the bench. Here's Haas. Again, draws in the defense, but this time an air ball from Anderson, who had hit 2 threes in the second quarter.
Clements able to track down the rebound.
So Newark will try to begin the climb up the mountain, down double digits here to open the second half. Here's Jaden Peters, who had a real tough first half, especially in the second quarter, and forces the issue there. But Saunders has the offensive rebound.
Saunders with a nice job cleaning up the missed shot by Peters.
Saunders just the fourth player other than Clements to get a bucket tonight. Taylor Clements with 11 to pace Newark in the first half, whereas Mynderse had 7 different players tally at least 1 point in the first half, and that deflected out of bounds as they try and get it inside to Miller with 17 to shoot. Miller, the junior, 6'5", 190. Anderson with a tough pull-up, left it short. Not a great possession there from the Blue Devils, and we'll see if Newark can take advantage and slice into this 9-point lead. Moynihan running the point. Clements trying to post up inside, and they're going to get a foul on the floor against Darren Miller.
And I think offensively, that's what this Newark Reds team has got to do. Play to your strengths and work the ball inside to Clements.
That'll be the second foul on Miller. So you have Miller, Robinson, and Haas, each with 2 fouls for Mynderse. Moynihan able to get it in. But that's going to be a turnover, and really a careless turnover as Saunders threw it over the head of Jaden Peters.
I think Peters thought there was somebody behind him, probably could have caught that pass and just assumed that it was for another player.
Well, when you're down 11 at the start of a half, can't afford to throw away possessions. A lot of turnovers in the first half for Newark, too. They got to be well into the double digits in that category. Mynderse struggled a little bit that time to get the ball in. Quentin Battle, point guard for Mynderse. I like the way he runs the team. Good pace. Anderson. And we're going to get a hold there. He was kind of caught in no man's land beneath the foul line, but bailed out.
Boy, they're going to get Clements with the reach in there away from the basket.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not the type of foul that Coach Cooperis will be happy with.
Yeah, this is second foul, but now got to be careful. Don't want to pick up that third. 6:15 left to play in the penultimate quarter, 32-23. Anderson is not shy with the trigger here in the third quarter, but he's missed 3 shots already. And so it'll be Newark basketball. Moynihan for Saunders. Leaves for Peters. Anglin and Clements round out the 5 for Newark. Anglin had a couple buckets in the first half. Moynihan passes up on the 3. That's a tough pass into the double team. Clements did a good job just to keep the ball alive and tip it to Anglin. I don't know how that pass got through, and Clements misses the reverse layup, gets it back again, and puts it home.
Clements just demonstrating fantastic hands, able to bring in 2 balls that he had no business catching.
I don't know how that entry pass from Anglin went in, and now Battle slow to get up. And all of a sudden, Newark down 7 with a chance to cut it to 5 or even 4. Clements swings it over. Boy, that could have been a travel on Anglin as he shuffled his feet. Instead, he'll drive and pick up the foul. Mynderse a little bit slow out of the locker room here in the third quarter, Tony, and Newark getting a chance to get right back into this game as we see Clements go to work at the low post. So England to the free throw line. Boy, Newark just shot 3 free throws in the first half. They were 2 of 3 from the line, so Mynderse had a big advantage in terms of trips to the free throw line. Mynderse shot 14 free throws in the first half compared to just 3 for Newark. Second free throw up and in for England. Mynderse only hit half of those 14 free throws, so they left some points on the board in the first half. And that's a big 3 right there. Sometimes, Tony, just need to get the lid off the basket to open up a half. And the second 3 of the game for Battle.
Boy, it was a real nice-looking stroke by Battle. It didn't touch anything but the bottom of the net.
Right, you get it to a 2-possession game, and now, boom, it's right back up to 9, though. Second chance opportunity here for Mynderse. Moynihan can't hit the 3. Second chance opportunity for Newark, I should say. Great pass from Battle, but Haas can't finish. Now 1-on-5. Look at how good Mynderse is getting back. Again, his team in great shape and runs the floor extremely well. 4:31 left to play in the third quarter. England for Peters, working off the screen from Clements. Back to Moynihan. England will pull the trigger. That never had a chance, and the rebound to Haas. He has been a Haas. Last name is Haust, H-A-U-S-T. And another 3-ball from Quentin Battle. Timeout, Newark.
Battle with the only field goals of the half for the Mynderse Blue Devils, but they were 2 big ones.
He has 9, and with 4:07 left to play, the lead is up to 12. And shall I say, Jim Sinacropi, that was as sweet as a Christmas ballet, those last 2 3-pointers. And with that, it's a busy night here at Newark, not just basketball, but the Nutcracker being performed here at Newark High School. Who says you can't mix basketball and ballet? It's the biathlon for the new generation, huh? That's great for the time. We got to do that now. Let's have ballet for every timeout.
Some talented performers here for
great.
Newark.
We're midway through the third quarter. Biggest lead of the game for Mynderse at 38-26. Danger zone again for Newark. They'd worked it down to 6 after trailing by 11 at the half, but the back-to-back threes from Quentin Battle. 10 on the shot clock. Newark struggling offensively right now. Such a contrast right now when you see the spacing on both ends of the floor. Mynderse looking so crisp offensively. Newark really struggling, but they do get bailed out with the foul here.
Yeah, good job, or a nice-looking drive by England, working to get to the basket there and drawing the foul.
And
well, they're going to call that on the floor.
A couple times where it looks like it was clearly on the shot where they've called it on the floor. That'll be the third foul, meanwhile, on Jake Robinson. Robinson has struggled a little bit tonight. He came in as the leading scorer. Another tough catch for Clements. Boy, did he earn that bucket.
Boy, they just throw it up.
Right? It's like the equivalent of the fade pass to the big wide receiver in football. Just throw it up there and have him win the battle. But sloppy turnover again for Mynderse. Just can't seem to pull away here. They get it back to double digits. Now cut to 10, 38-28. Moynihan just avoids the 5-second count. They went to Hail Mary to Clements again on the plan. England really out of control, but he's going to get bailed out.
Boy, he sure did. Nice position by that Mynderse defense. He got him with a body, a lower body, looked like, a trip or a kick almost called by the official.
Well, this one, they'll actually let him go to the free throw line. England was 1 of 2 just a couple moments ago. He has 5 points thus far. And Newark with a couple players coming in off the bench. Well, one is going to have to wait because he's coming in for the shooter, but Marcel Green D'Souza will come in for Jaden Peters. And Mason Vandemortel, who hit a 3 in the first half, waits at the scorer's table. 1 of 2 again at the line for Terry England. Haven't seen any kind of full court pressure from Newark yet. At some point, if we start getting into the fourth quarter and it's still a 10-point game, they may have to think about trying to use some pressure. But this is a Mynderse team that can probably handle that pressure pretty well. Pick and roll, and Haas couldn't finish. So it remains a 9-point game. 2:45 to play in the third quarter. Moynihan working against Battle. It's been a good matchup tonight. D'Souza, that's a moving screen. Great call. Yep. Saunders trying to set the ball screen, and not only was he moving, but I think he grabbed the defender as well. So a double no-no. So back to Mynderse. That counts as another turnover. Be one of those things when Henry Caparis breaks down the tape that I'm sure he's going to be pointing to in terms of the number of possessions they've lost, Tony.
Yeah, turnovers has been a struggle for this Newark Reds team. It's a guard play, a little inexperienced this year as they lost some terrific guards from last year's team, and Brian Sharp and Nate Beard.
Jesse Cabot is back in the game wearing number 22. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Trying to get past Moynihan, or I'm sorry, trying to get past Vandemortel, and able to do it.
Haas able to put it down right in front of Taylor Clements. I don't know how it got through the big. Battle
tiptoes. Yeah, somehow stayed in bounds. And now good timeout from Kevin Korzaneski.
Battle says Newark aren't the only players that can do a little ballet.
Yeah, right. Must have heard about what was going on in the on the break there before. So 1:49 left to play, and you get a look at the replay. Chop, chop, chop down the near sideline. Bill Cram Chevrolet on routes 5 and 20 between Seneca Falls and Waterloo, where car buying is fast, fun, and easy. Mention you saw them on FingerLakes1.com and receive a $250 credit to use towards the purchase of any new or used vehicle. Browse their inventory at BillCramChevrolet.com or stop in and see why you'll save plenty on 5 and 20 with Bill Cram Chevrolet. There's Ben Coles. Newark could use his services right about now. He is a guy who's not playing this year, and he does have a pretty good reason.
A talented athlete. Coles has signed a letter of intent and has a scholarship to play baseball for the University of Maryland.
Wonder if he went over to the Dome last week to see the Terps play Syracuse on the hardwood. 2-point victory for the Orange over Maryland. It was a fun game.
Boy, and they could use a player like Coles tonight.
Yep.
You know, scrappy, tough guard, really hustles, makes a lot of things happen on the floor.
1:30 to play here in the third quarter. Darren Miller kept off the block and tried to kick it out, and it leads to a turnover. Pretty good job defense. A couple times defensively, we've seen Mason Vandemortel do a good job using his size. 6'2", 169-pound junior. So an 11-point lead for Mynderse. That's what the halftime margin was, but only a minute 15 left to play in the third quarter. Mynderse would be fine with maintaining that margin through the third quarter and heading into the fourth quarter. And a tie-up as Elliott and Miller tangled up.
And Newark's still hanging around in this game, but you kind of feel like that a few times Mynderse has really been on the cusp of opening things up and blowing this game open.
The biggest lead been 12 or 13? 13. Moynihan was able to get rid of it. And a Vandemortel opportunity just left it a little bit too strong. Anderson trying to get on track in the second half. There it is. Devin Anderson with his third three of the game. He's into double figures with 11, joining Hunter Haas, who has 10. The balanced scoring effort continues, and now 14 is your biggest lead of the game. 12-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock, so Newark cannot hold for the last shot. Vandemortel. D'Souza was online but left it short. Good rebound for the point guard. Battle dribbles around the defender. 3-on-1, works it ahead to Anderson, who's able to finish.
Great no-look pass by Battle there. Looking off the defender and making a real nice-looking assist.
13 now for Devin Anderson. 8 seconds to play in the third quarter. 16-point lead for Mynderse. Moynihan had gotten past the defender, but I think he saw Darren Miller there waiting, and no shot. Well, they'll get the shot, but it's a prayer from D'Souza. And that's the end of the third quarter. Mynderse has finished strong, Tani. The end of the first quarter, end of the first half, and now the third quarter. And they enjoy a 16-point lead at the end of 3 on Finger Lakes 1.
Federal loans not enough to cover the cost of your college education? The private student loan available through Generations Bank can be the answer to your funding needs. Learn more online at mygenbank.com or call 315-568-5855. Generations Bank, with locations in Auburn, Farmington, Geneva, Phelps, Seneca Falls, Union Springs, and Waterloo. Be sure to check out their mobile banking app or visit them online at mygenbank.com. Dr. Littlejohn and his outstanding orthodontic team share a common goal: to ensure the overall wellness of each patient through their orthodontic care. They utilize the latest technological advances in the orthodontic industry, including digital scanning and Invisalign. Dr. Rod Littlejohn is proud to support our area high school athletes. Check out their website at littlejohnortho.com. Bill Cram Chevrolet on Route 5 and 20 between Seneca Falls and Waterloo, where your car buying is fast, fun, and easy. Mention you saw them on fingerlakes1.com and receive a $250 credit to use towards the purchase of any new or used vehicle. Browse their inventory at billcramchevrolet.com or stop in and see why you'll save plenty on 5 and 20 with Bill Cram Chevrolet.
And we're back. Mynderse with the turnover as they started off with the basketball to open up the fourth quarter. But they lead it by 16, 45-29. They outscored the Newark Reds 13-8 in the third quarter.
When the offensive woes for this Newark team continue, as they were held scoreless for the last 3 minutes of the third quarter. And there's Clements finally breaking the ice.
17 for Clements. The problem is, aside from that, the points have been few and far between for the Newark Reds. He has 17. The rest of the team has 14. Deep three from Battle is off the mark, and Saunders with the rebound. So we're a minute into the fourth quarter. Going to take a heck of a run from Newark to come back in this one. And again, they're going to have to think about maybe throwing some pressure on if they can make another basket. And a tough night continues for Peters. Plops off the back ring, but an offensive rebound kept alive from Clements. But Saunders can't score. Mynderse basketball. Darren Miller. Back outside for Anderson with the reverse layup. Anderson having a terrific night. He now has 15.
Really pretty finish by Anderson there on the reverse layup.
Devin Anderson, the son of Mynderse girls coach Jerry Anderson, putting on a show here on the road. And Saunders with the 15-footer, and timeout called by Newark. Well, Devin Anderson has been tremendous for this Mynderse team, Tony, and we get a little look at what he's been able to do tonight. The three ball from the corner. That was when it was still an 11-point lead inside of a minute left to play. And then, again, another strong finish to the end of the half. On the break, Anderson able to score on the nice pass from Quentin Battle. And so Anderson scored the last 5 points at the end of the third quarter, and we see him come in with the bucket here to open up the fourth quarter, and he has led the way for the Blue Devils. But again, it's been a team effort for them, especially on the defensive end.
Right, and you referenced it on the other side of the ball. It's really been a one-man show for this Newark Reds team. Clements, it's not like he's been touching the ball on every possession, just struggling to get the ball in the basket, this Newark Reds team. But credit to the Mynderse Blue Devils defensively. It's just swarming man-to-man defense. They're up and they're pressuring the guards. They're pestering and switching and doing a really nice job defensively, and really have been wearing this Newark Reds team down throughout the game.
15 points for Devin Anderson. Hunter Haas has 10. Quentin Battle has 9.
And we're going to see Newark with some full court pressure here. Try and change the tempo.
And a whistle. And looks like timeout called by Mynderse.
Of course, he wants to talk it over.
Well, we invite you to stick around after the game for the Dr. Rodney Littlejohn post-game show. Dr. Littlejohn and his outstanding orthodontic team share a common goal to ensure the overall wellness of each of their patients through their orthodontic care. Dr. Rod Littlejohn is proud to support our area high school athletes. Check out Dr. Rod online at littlejohnortho.com. Cheerleaders doing a great job here at Newark, as they always do, and there are plenty of them. Go almost baseline to baseline there. Well, not quite that far, but good crowd here on this Friday night. Newark in danger of dropping to 0-4, Tani, and we've talked about the difficult schedule tonight against Mynderse, of course. They will play Geneva at Romulus coming up next Thursday night. Are they renovating the Geneva gym? Is that what's happening? I think I remember you guys telling me that last year, right? Yeah.
Boy, it's a haul to have for them to have to head over to Romulus. No gym space available over at the college?
I guess not. Yeah, that's a good point. So Mynderse almost turned it over the backcourt. They get it across, and oh boy, the foul called there, and Miller was headed towards the backcourt violation. So bailed out a little bit. Darren Miller's gotten a lot of playing time with Jake Robinson in foul trouble tonight. Defensive breakdown, and of all the guys to leave open tonight, that might not be the one.
Yep, a little confusion there. Coach Kuparis is not happy about that one. Just a miscommunication by this Newark Reds team.
And driving to the basket and drawing the foul is Terry Anglin. So 49-33. Mynderse gradually pulling away here in the second half after they led by 11 at the break. Anglin is 2 of 4 from the free throw line as he makes the first. I made them both that time, and they'll put the press right back on. Newark in need of some turnovers with 5:38 left to go, down 14. Mynderse able to get it across. Now they'll get into the half court.
Mynderse has had no trouble breaking that press at all on 2 times that Newark's attempted it.
And there's a foul on Saunders. And pretty good discipline too, Tani. Once they did break the press that time, they had a momentary 2-on-1 advantage. But, sometimes you see teams break the press, it gets them out of their game. Next thing you know, they miss an easy basket. Instead, they pull it out and go right into their half-court set. It's the 4th team foul on Newark, so they have 2 fouls to give. Mynderse wouldn't mind to have some longer possessions here. Milk the clock a little bit maybe with 5:05 to play. What they don't want to do is turn it over. And it will be a turnover. It took a minute for Ron Plummer to let us know which way that was headed, but he's going to say turnover was deflected.
And Coach Korzenowski's not thrilled about that call.
Well, everything a learning opportunity, and his team has played in 2 blowouts to open up the season. And so this game's still in reach a little bit. So this is a good lesson in the 4th quarter on how to put a team away here. Take care of the basketball. Don't turn it over.
Boy, and there really aren't too many nights that any team's going to have off in this competitive Finger Lakes League. Yes, there's some teams at the top, but teams better bring their A game for the Finger Lakes East games.
That'll be the 3rd foul on Miller, and just a look ahead. Seneca County Girls Showdown. South Seneca against Mynderse coming up on Monday, live from Seneca Falls. So we invite you after the weekend to come back and join us. And then next Thursday, game Tani and I will be on, we head to Ontario County. Marcus Whitman and Bloomfield in the Finger Lakes West.
And that'll be a radio game live, and then of course you can catch the video replay a couple hours afterwards.
Bombers Wildcats. Newark with the basketball, down 14. They need points in a hurry. And there's 2 and a chance for another.
And a great-looking drive to the basket there by Anglin.
So Anglin starting to emerge as the second scorer in this game for Newark. He now has 10 points, joining Taylor Clements in double digits, who has 17. but can't hit the free throw and cannot finish off the three-point play. The lead is 12, 49-37. Mynderse has not quite put away the Reds. Almost a must stop here for Newark, Tony.
I mean, Newark's got to try and get this under double digits in the next possession or two.
And they got the miss, but nobody boxes out Quentin Battle, and he goes up and draws the foul. And Battle, pretty good free throw shooter, will head to the line where he's 3 for 4. Battle also in double figures. He has 10 points, along with Host and Anderson in double figures. So Mynderse going to ice this game. Going to need to hit their free throws. Battle gets it off to a good start. That was the third foul on Anglin. And Battle misses the second, 1 of 2. So one area of improvement for Mynderse going forward, Tony, the free throw shooting. They've missed their share. Saunders, pretty good look. Good release, but a little bit too strong. 13-point lead for Mynderse with the basketball. We're past the midway point here in the fourth quarter. Anderson trying to work off the ball screen. Good decision, leaves it back out for Robinson. Here's Battle again in firm control at the point. Robinson up and under, couldn't get it to go.
Robinson with a nice aggressive challenge, though.
Tony, are you at a point where you're thinking 3-ball? Or are you just looking for the quickest basket you can get?
I think they just got to figure out a way to get to the basket. You know, not too many of the Newark Reds have demonstrated. Yes, just like that. Terry Anglin, again, able to drive the ball to the basket. And a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Well, he showed some good explosiveness going baseline, accelerating, and then really pushing off as he goes up. Scores the bucket.
We got to look at the replay here. Nice fake, hard to the basket, and the finish.
And it's going to be all for Robinson. So he was plagued all night by foul trouble. Fouls out with just 2 points. And Anglin will try and finish off the three-point play.
Well, they cut it to 10.
50-40 with 3:10 left to play. And you're kind of in that in-between land. If you're Mynderse, you want to use some clock, but at the same time, you don't want to get out of your rhythm, Tony. Down to 15 on the shot clock.
Mynderse working the ball around the perimeter, being patient. Ooh.
And
they're going to get the tip.
Hoss.
Yep, that's a good call by the official.
Saunders deflected it, but then Hoss went off his fingertips. Now we'll see a little offense-defense substitution pattern for Henry Caparis as he'll bring Jaden Peters, who has the ability to hit the long ball, into the game. 2:40 to play. Bucket here makes things interesting. 50-40, Mynderse. Well, if nothing else, Mynderse making Newark take some time in this possession. Saunders got it. Down to 8.
Athletic play by Saunders.
So, 2:21 to play.
Well,
and Newark calls the timeout. It's now 50-42.
Boy, all of a sudden, Saunders and Anglin demonstrating some of their athleticism.
Yeah.
Getting the ball to the basket.
You wonder where that was earlier in the game, right? What was the biggest lead? I'm doing terrible with biggest leads tonight.
At one point, it was up to 14.
I thought it might have even been higher than that, but 50-42 right now, your score. It is we have 2:21 left to play as you get a look inside the huddle for Newark. And Terry Anglin has led the charge back.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Brendan. It was at one point it was 31-47, so it was up to a 16-point
so
lead.
16 was the biggest lead. Took place early in the fourth quarter here. So give some credit to Newark here, Tony, that they've been able to have that lead and get it back down to 8.
Absolutely. This Newark team looked a little bit gassed at the end of the first half, finding a way to grit this one out and make it a competitive game here at the end.
And we'll expect Newark to come back out with the press here. So we get a look at Saunders going down the edge of the lane before the timeout.
And just 2 big steps from the free throw line, able to cover a lot of ground.
Now remember, Jake Robinson is fouled out. Haas can run the baseline here, though he hasn't yet, and able to get it in, and that is a dangerous pass that very well probably should have resulted in a turnover.
Some nice full court man-to-man by the Newark Reds. Just unfortunate for them as just Souza and Saunders ran into one another.
Poor decision by Caraher, and Clements got a hand on it. Now Darren Miller able to get it across the timeline. See if they play for the stop here. They have 1 foul to give. The last thing you want to do here is foul with the shot clock running down. 18 to shoot. Oh, that was a push-off on Battle, and he's lucky he didn't get called. Coach Caparis was yelling at the officials trying to get the call, and there you go. With 7 on the shot clock, you commit the reach-in.
Yep, he's really frustrated about that foul.
1:53 left to play. 50-42, an 8-point lead for Mynderse. Again, that was the 6th team foul, so next foul will put them at the line, but they ran the shot clock down to 7.
Yeah.
At that point, I think now you just foul again right away because they can take a whole full 35 seconds off the shot clock again.
And it looks like that's what they're going to do.
Well, unless they're going to foul inside of 10 seconds, like last time.
Oh, and they came close to it.
I'm going to say they are. That's my bet. 13 on the shot clock. 1:28 to play, and good job by Clements to alter the shot by Battle. Newark down 8, 1:20 to go. Oh, he passed up the look at the 3. Anglin drives in and does draw the foul.
But you said it. He had a wide open look at a 3 and just wasn't confident in it. Ball faked and went to the basket.
Meanwhile, you know, they almost baited Battle on that drive, and there was still about 9 seconds on the shot clock. And it looked like it was going to be an easy opportunity, but Clements came over and clearly affected the shot from Battle as he tried to finish. And now we're going to get Mynderse calling a timeout. So things still in doubt. Mynderse yet to put away this Newark Reds team. Anglin's going to be going to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Chance to cut it to 6 with 1:16 here.
Yeah, it was 45-29 at the end of the third quarter, so it was actually 16 right at the end of the third quarter. And a 13-5 advantage for Newark so far here in this fourth quarter. And remember, they had not scored more than 11 points in a quarter heading into this fourth. And right now, 13 and a chance to add to it at the free throw line.
Coach Korzaneski probably going over what he wants his team to do, knowing that if Newark knocks down the free throws, they're going to be seeing that full court pressure. And really this Mynderse team has got to settle down a little bit against that pressure, play a little bit more relaxed. Half of dealing with full court pressure is making sure that you stay calm and don't make foolish decisions. So Anglin to the line for a big pair.
He has been there often here in the second half. He's 5 of 8 from the free throw line. All the trips here in the second half. Hits the first. The lead is 7. This to make it a 2-possession game with 1:16 to play. Missed it. Almost a lane violation there, too, on Newark. So, see if Newark again plays for the stop. It's a 3-possession game.
It looks like that's what they're going to do.
A little bit surprising. They can run this down to about 40 seconds and still have a 3-possession lead. I think you're in a situation where you have to foul, but, well, they have to stop with 52 left, and Battle couldn't finish.
Clements.
2-on-1 if they hurry. Anglin with the layup.
Timeout, Newark.
44 seconds left to play as the Reds call a timeout.
Well, and Battle had a chance to get to the basket, but about 15 seconds still on the shot clock. Could have run a little bit more time off the clock. We got to look at the replay here.
And
nice job by D'Souza with the assist in transition.
Meanwhile, Newark has 1 timeout remaining. And it was a 16-point lead as we started the fourth quarter.
We got to look at the talented Lions guard, Justice Smith over there, sporting the Red Sox sweatshirt.
Yeah, taking on the action here with 44 seconds left here in the fourth quarter in Newark. It will be Mynderse basketball. Length of the floor to travel. Next foul will put the Blue Devils into the bonus. Meanwhile, Newark is in the double bonus the rest of the way.
What great resilience by this Newark squad, being down as much as 16, clawing their way back into it.
1 timeout remaining for Newark. So here we go. Hunter Haas, again, he can run the baseline. And we're going to have a hold and a foul called against Newark. Marcel Green D'Souza. But it's going to be a 1-and-1, like we said.
1-and-1 with no time that comes off the clock.
Sometimes you have to be careful with if you commit a foul before the clock even starts because you can get called for the intentional. So it will be Quentin Battle to the free throw line. He went 1 of 2 from the line earlier in the quarter. He's 4 of 6 from the line altogether tonight. Has 10 points. Again, so important, Tony, to have a point guard who can hit free throws coming down the stretch. That was the 3rd foul on D'Souza. And the roll for Battle.
Bounces around the rim but drops.
And this is a big one that would push it back to a 3-possession game. 44 seconds to play. Got it.
2 big free throws by Battle.
And Newark going to have to hurry, and if they can get a 3, that would be preferred. Taking too long. Moynihan dribbles all the way across the floor, down to 32 seconds left. Off the foot of Anglin. Somehow Peters is open, but he just has not been able to find the mark tonight. And tracked down by the Blue Devils. Caraher really didn't need to force it there. Tried the 360, and he'll head to the free throw line with 20.4 to go, and now Mynderse feeling a heck of a lot better about their situation.
Yep, that's probably going to be a little bit too much for this Newark Reds team. But again, credit to them of hanging around after being down by as much as 16, making this a competitive game here at the finish.
Mynderse took 14 free throws in the first half. They've taken just 4 here in the second. And they continue to leave points at the line as the first shot no good from Caraher. (10 of 19 from the line. Now make it 11 of 20 as Caraher hits the second. 8-point lead, just 16 seconds left to go, and Mynderse about to go to 3-0 while Newark going to fall to 0-4. Saunders will get 2 more, and the last timeout upcoming here from the Newark Reds.
Boy, evidently no longer dribbling required here at the end. Saunders was allowed to take a couple of steps on his way to the basket there.
Just 1.9 seconds remaining, 53-47. So I think some things to build off of here in the fourth quarter for the Newark Reds going forward.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, 7.9. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's that bar. There's like a little barrier that makes it look like there's 1.9.
Well, especially from my angle right here, you cannot. There's no way you can see the 7. So
yeah.
It looks like 1.9. It's actually 7.9.
Some netting up to protect the scoreboard here.
So a little bit more time, but really academic. And if you're Newark, you need a steal right here. So again, Newark out of timeouts. Clements will be on the ball. Always a good idea, get that length right on the ball, make it harder for the inbounder. And it will be Hunter Haas again to inbound for Mynderse. Boy, no difficulty whatsoever getting it in there. Miller is fouled with just 2.6 remaining. And Mynders, talking with Corsi before the game, and the Mynders people, these kids really wanted to come in here and get a win at Newark. It's been a while. Yeah, none of these guys have been a part of a win up here.
As we were talking about, I think our thoughts are about 6 years since maybe Mynders was able to get a win over in this gymnasium.
And that'll find the mark. First point.
Well, you can see why. It's a tough place to play. Yep. Great atmosphere here. Newly redone floor here at the Newark Gymnasium this year.
Well, that'll make the final free throw numbers look a little bit better. 13 of 22 from the line. And that'll do it here from Newark High School. Mynders moves to 3-0 with a 55-47 win over the Newark Reds. But credit Newark and first-year head coach Henry Caparis for making things at least a little bit interesting in the fourth quarter. A 16-point lead was cut down to 5, but Mynders gets the job done and comes away with the victory. We're going to take a timeout, and when we come back, it's the Dr. Rodney Littlejohn postgame show, and we'll have Devin Anderson hopefully joining us from Mynders.
FingerLakes1.com's live coverage of Wayne Finger Lakes High School basketball is brought to you thanks to the support from Finger Lakes Partners. Insurance for your life, home, auto, and future. Trust someone who lives in your community. With offices in Geneva, Waterloo, and Victor, visit Finger Lakes Partners online at fingerlakesinsurance.com. Ferrara Lumber and Building Supplies. Ferrara Lumber has been a fixture in the Seneca Falls area for almost 60 years. Start planning your next home improvement project at ferraralumber.com. Ferrara Lumber, supporting local high school athletes since 1959. Finger Lakes Construction Company is the #1 post-frame builder in New York State, providing complete building packages for a wide range of construction, including personal garages, commercial office complexes, municipal, equestrian, agricultural, dairy facilities, pole barns, and more. Visit them online at fingerlakesconstruction.com. The It's a Wonderful Run 5K Committee. It's a winter run like no other. Check out race videos, sign up for the next race, and learn how to get involved in the most popular holiday run around at itsawonderfulrun5k.com. Red's Place, serving great lunches daily in downtown Seneca Falls. Awesome daily specials, soup, and the best sandwiches in town. Check out their Facebook page for daily specials and their full menu. Next time you head out to see a movie, make it at the Omen Theater in downtown Lyons. You'll love relaxing in the modern, renovated theater that has the old-fashioned charm and character of the original house first opened in 1915. See what's playing this week at omentheater.com. Penny's Place Family Restaurant, located on 5 and 20 in the Liberty Plaza between Seneca Falls and Waterloo. Well known for their large portions and home-cooked meals, a large selection of breakfast items, and everything from burgers, salad bar, and wraps for lunch. If you want a great meal while pinching a penny, come to Penny's Place. Jimmer's Auto offers a full inventory of late model cars, trucks, and minivans. Check out their full inventory online at jimmersauto.com. And for service, visit Stever's Garage on Fall Street in Seneca Falls. Jimmer's Auto and Stever's Garage, strong supporters of local high school athletes for over 40 years. Fed up with unresponsive web designers and getting nickeled and dimed for every small website update? Call FingerLakes1.com at 315-712-0104 and take control of your web presence. Since 1998, FingerLakes1.com has created and maintained nearly 1,000 websites for local businesses and organizations of all sizes. Aflac. When health changes for you or a loved one, it can change everything. But Aflac can help make sure the life you live is the life you never stop living. Learn more at aflac.com or contact Joe Calarco at 315-253-0495. And by Generations Bank, Littlejohn Orthodontics, and Bill Cram Chevrolet.
Mynderse Blue Devils come up with the victory tonight, 55-47. as they hold off a late comeback attempt from the Newark Reds. Brendan Harrington and Tani Robinson back with you. It's time for the Dr. Rod Littlejohn post-game show, the Smiles with Style post-game show. Jim Sinacrupi, our producer and director tonight. Jeremy Hunt on camera. And, Newark led late in the first quarter, 11-6. Minders really closed out every quarter strong in this game, and they took the lead at the end of the first quarter, or at the beginning of the second quarter, able to open up an 11-point halftime lead, and then the third quarter is really where they really opened things up. When they finished strong at the end of the third quarter, they led by 16, and even though Newark was able to get some late buckets on a charge led by Terry Anglin, Minders with enough tonight to hold it off.
Yeah, the end of the quarters, Minders was really tough. Great defense, did a nice job of scoring in bunches, and here we go as we're going to be joined here by the player of the game.
Also had Harrison DiMaria on camera tonight, and Devin Anderson making his way in. Devin, you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, got to get your mic up there. There you go. Well, Devin, thanks for joining us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I guess I'll start off by saying that I know, talking with some of the people from Minders, you guys were really focused on coming in and getting a win in Newark. You guys this group hadn't got a win here. We think it's been about 6 years since Minders has come in here and gotten a win. So talk to us a little bit about how you guys approach this game.
Well, for the past week, we've just been preparing for it. We've been talking about how we want the big men to beat us. We didn't want to. Taylor had how many points, and we still wanted to. Doesn't matter how many points he had. We wanted the big men to beat us. We didn't want the guards to beat us, and we just wanted to win. It's been 6 years, and finally got a win out here. Yeah.
What do you think, looking at this game, was the key in terms of you guys coming away with the win? Was it more on the defensive end, offensively? What do you think you guys did well today?
I think it varied at times. There was at times where our defense looked good, and there was times where it looked bad, and our offense looked pretty good most of the night. So it just varied at times.
You were scoring in bunches throughout the night, and defensively, it sounds like one of the coach's keys to the game was you're going to let Clements get his points, but you're going to make sure you limited those guards, and it really looked like you were pressing up on them throughout the game, created a lot of turnovers defensively.
Yep, that was the goal. Just let Taylor do whatever he does, and let the guards. We don't want to let the guards score a lot. Just try to stop them. That was the goal.
Talk a little bit about playing under the new coaching staff this year. And when we say new coaching staff, I mean, you're familiar with these guys, but Coach Korzaneski at the helm now, and, of course, Coach Prain came in halfway through last year. But what about the style that they have you playing? You guys have fun playing the up-tempo style?
Oh, yeah, we love this style. He wants us pushing the ball the whole game, doesn't want us to stop, and it's just great. Never played like this before, and it's fun this year. A lot more fun.
Seems like you guys are in real good shape, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been working on that. We've been running a lot more at practice, and anytime we do something wrong, he freaks out on us, makes us run.
Corsi?
Yeah.
No, that can't be right. Well, what was it for you today in terms of getting going offensively? Was the three ball got you going in the second quarter? It seems like that's when you guys, as a team, found your groove offensively, was in the second quarter.
Yeah, we know we can. Probably one of our best things is probably a three ball. We got almost all of our players can shoot the three ball. Even one of our big men, Darren Miller, and Hunter Haas can.
Yep. So
we know when we start hitting a few threes, that's when we get going. And then we can, if they start coming out on us, we just go by them to the basket and we dump down low to them. That's what starts us, the three ball.
It seemed like in the second quarter, too, that in the half court, offensively, you guys were executing well. Did you see that from down there in terms of your spacing was good? You got the ball in a couple times to Haas, and he kicked it out and really left you with some good looks.
Yeah, I noticed that. We've been working on that a lot, too, just our composure and our patience with the offense, and it's been working great.
Where do you go from here? Obviously, you were focused on this game against Newark. Now you got a week before you play again. How do you see this season unfolding?
So far, it's looking really good. We got to keep practicing, keep working hard in the gym, and we got to focus on one opponent at a time. Next, we got Mid-Lakes Friday, and that's our next goal right there.
Definitely. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Another victory. You guys start off 3-0. Was it good to get a little bit of a challenge in this game in terms of, in the fourth quarter managing a lead? I mean, the other two games you guys were up big time.
Yeah.
Was that something you think you guys will learn from?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The first two games, obviously, we didn't really have a challenge, but this game was a gut check for us, and I think we pulled out good. All
right. Well, congratulations. We appreciate you joining us, and go enjoy that victory.
Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. Devin Anderson finished with 17 points to lead the way for this Mynderse team tonight. And just to run through the scoring here real quickly, 3 players in double figures for Mynderse, 17 from Anderson, 12 from Battle, 10 from Hunter Haas. And then Jesse Cabot off the bench with 5, Kellen Caraher with 4, Keegan Baker hit a 3-ball in the second quarter for 3, and then Jake Robinson and Darren Miller each finished with 2. So everybody who played tonight for Mynderse scored a total in this one of 55 points as they score 10 in the first half and then 22 in the second, 13 in the 10 in the first quarter, 22 in the second quarter, 13 in the third quarter, and then finish off with 10 in the fourth quarter. And Mynderse was 14 of 22 from the free throw line. Newark, meanwhile, 2 players accounting for an overwhelming amount of their points as Terry Anglin finished with 16 and then 17 points for Taylor Clements. So 33 of the 47 coming from two guys right there. And then 8 from DeAndre Saunders and 3 from Mason Vandemortel for that total of 47 points. So,
well, this Newark team, again, credit to them for being resilient, hanging around, finding a way to put some points on the board offensively. I'm sure they'll be looking forward to a chance to go over to Mynderse and play this team again later this season.
Yep, South Seneca Mynderse girls are coming up on Monday, and then we'll have the matchup between Bloomfield and Marcus Whitman on the boys' side in the FL West coming up next Thursday. Again, thanks very much to our producer and director, Jim Sinacropi, Harrison DeMaria, and Jeremy Hunt on camera as you get a look at those matchups coming up next week, December 11th on Monday, and then Thursday, December 14th from Bloomfield. Well, again, an impressive win for Mynderse tonight as they move to 3-0 as they win at 55-47 over the Newark Reds. For Tony Robinson, I'm Brendan Harrington. Have a terrific night, and thanks for joining us again for Wayne Finger Lakes basketball on Finger Lakes 1. Good night, everyone. Making cookies and wrapping gifts. God, this is a long week.